This Sunday, September 9th, 2012, will mark the one-year anniversary of the death of a man found burned alive near a vehicle. And homicide investigators are hoping anyone with information will come forward. On Thursday, September 8th, 2011, at 11:21 p.m., police responded to a call of an injury collision in the 200 block of 28th Avenue Northwest, where they found a vehicle fully engulfed in flames. A man was found near the vehicle suffering from severe burns. The man was taken to hospital but died of his injuries on Friday, September 9th, 2011. The victim was identified as Ken Law, 28, of Calgary. Investigators have been able to determine that Law was bound inside the vehicle and was alive when he was lit on fire. When emergency crews arrived, Law was conscious enough to speak to emergency workers prior to being sedated due to the severity of his injuries. Based on forensic DNA analysis of the restraints used, along with information from witnesses, investigators believe the victim was with at least 2 other people for upwards of 2 hours prior to the fire. He was likely held at another location for a period of time. This location is currently unknown, and investigators are looking for the public's help to determine Law's whereabouts during that time period. Anyone who may have seen the victim or his 2003 gold Nissan Murano during the evening of September 8th, 2011, is asked to call police. I'll now take questions.
Where was he restrained?
To protect the integrity of the investigation, I can't provide that information at this time. I can tell you that he was restrained and that we did seize the restraints. They were sent to the crime lab, and we did obtain DNA profiles from the restraints.
So is it safe to say you have DNA profiles of potential suspects?
We have developed persons of interest, and I can tell you based on the forensic examination of the scene and seized exhibits and interviews conducted with witnesses, we believe at least 2 people are involved in the victim's death.
Did Bo give any indication that he knew the perpetrators?
I'm sorry?
Did the victim give any indication that he knew the perpetrators?
To protect the integrity of the investigation, I can't comment on what the victim said.
Was there communication of value from the victim before he was sedated?
I can tell you that there was communication of value, but as to details, I can't comment on it.
What does the manner of this homicide tell you about the circumstances surrounding it? It's pretty horrific.
Well, 2 things. 1, that it was drug related, and 2, that it was a targeted attack. It was not random. And that the individuals involved in the homicide knew the victim.
Any suspicion of gang involvement?
There's no indication of gang involvement in this investigation.
This happened almost a year ago. Why are these details just coming out now?
Because it's the anniversary of the death, we feel it's a good time to raise the public profile of the investigation and appeal to anyone with information to come forward. It also takes a number of man-hours in the investigation to get to the point where we could make a public appeal. And as well, the DNA evidence. It takes several months to get the results from that. So everything came together at once, and that's why we're doing this appeal.
Did the fire by any chance destroy any other evidence that might have been known from other?
Well, I can tell you that based on the forensic examination of the scene, we believe that the victim was doused with an accelerant. The victim was in the vehicle for approximately a minute before he was able to remove himself from the vehicle. Neighbors in the area responded, and they were able to douse the flames.
His cause of death was from burning, though.
As a result of his injury suffered from the burn.
Have you been able to ascertain any kinds of tips, or can you speak to the number of tips you've received so far?
We have received information and tips that we have followed up. However, we do believe that there are people in the community who have information in regards to this investigation who have not come forward. We're appealing to anybody who has information to contact the police.
In particular,
In particular to the area where he was discovered, as well as people associated to the victim.
What community is that?
Isn't that Mount Pleasant? Yeah.
Can you say, was there any relationship to that area? Like, why
That's one of the things that we're trying to determine, why he was discovered in that area at that time. So there are a number of details that aren't clear to us and that we're trying to determine, and that's why we're encouraging people with information to come forward.
Steph, you've been involved in a lot of homicide investigations, a lot of vicious crimes. This is, how would you describe something?
This is very unusual, and the violence involved, apart from some of the other investigations we've been involved in, is extreme. To go to the extent where somebody, as we believe, was doused with an accelerant in this investigation, it would indicate I don't know, a level of anger that we only see rarely in homicide investigations.
Can you speak a little about the victim's other injuries? Besides the
Protect the integrity of the investigation. I can't release that information at this time.
So you said from the DNA you have suspects, so like, do you actually know who you're looking for?
We have developed persons of interest in this investigation based on our forensic examination of the scene and witnesses that we've interviewed.
So you don't want to release that at this time just for the integrity, or?
Yeah, to protect the integrity of the investigation, but I can tell you that we're a long ways away from the point where we can lay charges, and that we're keeping an open mind and we're looking at all possibilities, and we're encouraging anyone with information to come forward to assist with this investigation.
Just because people at home will think, oh, you have DNA, you have all this evidence, why would you just arrest them? Can you explain? Just
There are a lot of facts that we still have yet to determine in relation to this investigation, and that will assist us in getting to the point where we can lay charges and hold the people involved accountable.
You mentioned, Rich, your anger and that. Is there anything possible about two reasons for this fire, destroy evidence as well as retribution?
Well, certainly, fire can destroy evidence, but I can't speculate as to what the individuals were thinking at the time.
Victim was from Calgary. Do you know whereabouts in Calgary he was from? Or was he from the Mount Pleasant area?
No, he was not from that area.
His vehicle had to go a fair distance, or the vehicle had to go a fair distance from, say, his home to.
Yeah, and again, there's evidence to support that he was held at an unknown location. There's evidence to support that he was held at an unknown location for at least 2 hours prior to the discovery. And we're trying to identify that location, and that's why we're encouraging anybody who has information in regards to the investigation or to his whereabouts prior to him being discovered to contact police.
So it's unclear then as to whether it's a building or a vehicle or wherever he was restrained.
So it's unclear at this point where he was held, and those are one of the things that we're trying to determine in this investigation.
When was the last time he was seen? Was it last,
It was several hours prior to the discovery. I think it was probably around 7 o'clock or so.
So was that from the forensics that you knew that he was held for 2 hours, or was that from his communication?
It was a result of a number of things, including witness evidence.
Are you able to reveal how you know it was drug related?
No, I'm not going to go into detail on that. Only to say that it was drug related.
Anything indicate he was possibly tortured prior to this fire set?
Just to protect the integrity of the investigation, I can't release it at this time.
It's a very public and dramatic MO, if you will. Is there some hope with this appeal that they may have bragged about this or?
And that's one of the things that we're hoping. We're sure that there are people in the community with information, and we're encouraging those individuals to come forward. There are a number of reasons why people don't come forward with information, whether it's out of fear, out of the fact that they believe we already have that information, or they feel that the information is insignificant. And I can assure you that there is no such thing as insignificant information. Protect the integrity of the investigation. I can't comment on that at this time.
And when you say it was likely held at another location, is that, are you saying you believe he was tied up somewhere and held before being found?
And those are some of the details that we're trying to determine. What I can tell you is that we believe that he was held. There was evidence to support that he was held at another location for at least 2 hours prior to his discovery. But as to the details involved, that's what we're trying to determine, and that's why we're making this public appeal.
Is it fair to say you guys just got the DNA results back recently then?
I'm sorry?
Did you just get the DNA results back recently?
Yes, we did.
Has that kick-started the investigation?
Will certainly assist us in moving forward and gives us a direction to follow. But we're a long way away from the point where we can lay charges. And we do know that there are people out there with information, and that's why we're encouraging anyone with information to come forward. Okay, thank you.